Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to Nigeria Now on Airport Television, where we discuss some of the happenings in the country. And before we get into the matters of today, we just want to send our condolences to the governor of Akwa Ibom, who recently lost his wife. Quite a sad one. We're seeing that other senior stakeholders, the president, and many others have actually trooped in to send in their condolences to the governor. So, concerning some of the things we will be discussing this afternoon, please do well to drop your comment, your views regarding any of the matter that is quite of interest and very dear to your heart. I am Sana Elisha Dasho. I'm doing this program today alongside Sabo Solomon Sabe. Good afternoon,
Good
Solomon.
afternoon, sir.
Thank you for being here again.
Yeah, it's my pleasure.
All right, thank you so
Yes.
much.
Mhm.
All right, let's get into the discussion. Some of the matters we love to discuss. It is the Ember Month, and we are aware that most times during this time of the year, we mostly record number of road crashes on the road, and we have seen that the Federal Road Safety have come up with measures in place to actually help to reduce this number of road crashes. And personally, for me, concerning this, I believe beyond the measures that the Federal Road Safety want to put in place, I want to start with the government. We have recorded a number of auto crashes as a result of some of the bad roads we have. We can mention a number of which we had. I remember recently we had the Niger road, where we saw a number of crashes between a truck and a coming vehicle, and this happened at a time where would I say, most people were not plying the road, but then we saw the number of casualties. We're talking about almost 48 persons lost their life. Recently, just last week, we had another accident around Kano Zaria Road, where we saw some policemen also losing their life as a result of the bad road. For those who have plied that road, can actually testify that these roads have been bad. And now, these are part of the things, the measures, although we are aware that the Minister of Road are trying their best to get in collaboration with the federal government to see how they can make sure that most of these federal roads are actually good. But then we are aware of the member month, and we know the way things. I mean, this is a time where we see flyers flying around left, right, center, coming from the federal road safety, talking about how drivers need to be careful, making sure that drivers are psychologically and mentally stable before they ply the road, and then a number of things, nothing new coming from the Federal Road Safety. It's more like just a reminder of what drivers and road users are already aware of. In fact, even as a passenger, what is your own role when it comes to making sure that you actually reach your destination safely? And I think the Federal Road Safety is just trying to remind road users again the importance of adhering to certain rules and regulations that regards using of the road. Especially, I do not know why this Ember Moon mostly have something special about it, but then this is what the Federal Road Safety is saying concerning the usage of the road.
Well, it's a good one, but you see, most of the times, we we neglect the fundamental issues, and we go about talking about something that even from the scratch would taking care of it. So there will be no need to talk about it if if you deal with the main issue. And on this show, we upload any um, parastatal of the government, any department that are doing well. And with road safety, they are um, they are not they are not an exemption, because if you look at it, I ask first, why are they being created? We must start from there, because they are created because there was an issue, there was a problem that they feel they should solve. Are they solving the problem? Yes. How effective? That one is left for the people that apply our roads, to say, and people that have encounter with them. Say that you travel, we travel a lot, in this office, and you can testify to our encounter, with them during these our journeys. You understand? and then sometimes you watch them from afar, sometimes you have one-on-one encounter with them. Are they doing what they are supposed to do? In some cases you will say yes, or in some cases you wonder if they truly know why they are even created. Because if you talk about overloading, you talk about open boot, reckless driving, and so on and so forth. You even see how the drivers are relating with the guys, with the officers. Like you are seeing somebody that is coming with an overload, and then the way they shake, and then they hail each other, they shake hands, and then they were like, until you're back, until you're back. Like, you ask yourself, really? And this is somebody that is being paid with taxpayers' money. And then you find out people that you don't have business with them to block them, and then you block them and you start asking certain questions, and then you meet certain some of them blocking certain people and then asking for, you understand? We know that's so. When you look at all of these things happening from January, and then when it comes to December, that's when, you know, certain agencies will start saying we are up and about this. We are not saying they are not doing well, but Nigerians are not really seeing their impact, feeling their impact. Why did I say fundamental issues? You know, like, who is that person that you are giving a driver's license? You understand? Is it well scrutinized? And when people, you know, break those rules, how do you treat them? Do you treat them with every sense of responsibility, with every seriousness, based on the offense they committed? The answer is no. I think Nigerians will answer this better. You understand? And then now you're coming with you, and then you're giving them that room, and then you're saying this is what you would do. I just feel the issue is not only with the road safety. Like, I travel and I hear people saying this driver is not pulling this car because he has an appointment in Abuja and he's leaving just by 2 and by 12, and he wants to see himself by 2 in Abuja. If that's your timing, by 6 o'clock you should hit the road.
Truly.
I reach there by 12. I rest 2 hours before that 2 o'clock before you get to your appointment. But you see, we have this kind of attitude, all the Nigerians, that, you know, you want things to favor you because you have an appointment by 2 o'clock, so you expect the driver should be reckless. Once the driver is reckless, as long as he will meet your target, you're okay.
Don't mind.
So I think it will start with us. Can we talk to ourselves? When you are in a car and you see the driver misbehaving, driver receiving call and he's driving, know that he's wrong. Anything can just happen. A distraction can just come from that phone, or him receiving a bad news, or something he want to, and between a tinkle and an eye, something will just go wrong. You see somebody overtaking, you know, when the place is hilly or a sharp bend, you see somebody overtaking, not considering that same person that owns the right way could actually be coming with a certain speed. You understand? But you are just there, relaxed. Nobody is saying anything in the car. Until you drop, you'll be like, thank God, this driver, I don't know what is wrong with. No, it's your right to talk. And when you see you talking in the car, some people will just pick offense. Or even some of the drivers will tell you, do you know how many years I've been driving? For over 30 years I've been driving. Sir, if you are not driving well, I should talk to you. And what does the law say concerning how you are driving? It's wrong. You are putting people at risk. You understand? So it is very important that we should even help the road safety. It should start with us. Because some of these things start when people are beginning to prepare to run up the activities of the year. People are running, closing their businesses, trying to meet up, finish this deal, and then some people want to visit family during the Ember month, and then you see all those crashes because people want to meet up. You see people who just want to go Abuja and just come back and pick people
The same
simply
day.
because you see when you are going there are passengers, you know, like they always say, there's a lot of passengers. Let me just quickly just go and drop these people and then come back. And that's just the idea. You're not even thinking of your safety and then the safety of all is in your mind of what you can cash out at that moment. So we need to change that that mentality. If we do that, definitely the road safety will not be seeing them every end of the year coming to tell us that. Even us ourselves. And what is being expected is throughout the year you should maintain that. We should not hear you quiet. Then when it comes to the end of the year, then that's when we are seeing flyers. What happened in the night when people are driving? Do you travel in the night and see how these trailers, like, what do you call it? Their headlights.
Lights.
You know how they scatter everywhere with lights that somebody that is coming cannot even see, where he's even driving to. So what are you doing concerning that? And you see Nigerians complaining, but you can't find road safety. When it's 4 o'clock, everybody is off the road. And that's when you will see issue of overloading, because people will deliberately load and tell you until 4 o'clock.
Because
that's
they
when
know
I'll
there'll
start
be
monitoring.
no
Just
road
watch
safety.
and see.
Of
If you want
course.
to see issue of overloading and all this reckless whatever, they wait because they know that by 4, the road safety are not on the road, because that's the official closing time. Is that supposed to be like that? Who watches the reckless driving and all that happen on the road in the night? That should be shifting.
Sure.
But we feel, well, they are just trying, but they are not doing
Of course, because I was in a commercial vehicle one time, and I remember the driver saying one of the jobs that is very difficult is the job of the road safety officials, because sometimes people behave in a way, and then they don't walk around with guns. So no matter how you drive, sometimes their life are at stake. But just like you said, this should be an all-round event, not just waiting for a particular time before we remind ourselves of certain things.
I think the issue of technology that they want to adopt would help, because if you see other countries, in fact, they generate revenue because of traffic offenders.
True.
Yes. So because the car is registered, whoever the driver, even if the driver is not registered, the car is registered. As
So
long as
whoever is using
you
that
use
car,
that particular car,
whatever happens,
they will send you your bill.
True, they
You
will.
understand? So why can't even the country employ that
No,
in
I think
another source
the
of?
police were saying that they'll stop being on the road because they have already drafted out that particular technology, and I hope that the Federal Road Safety also have that technology.
It's the issue of collaboration.
Honestly,
it's the issue of collaboration. They collaborate will definitely
achieve
yes.
Of course, very true, very true. Well, we are seeing the issue of underage examination away from transport. Let's look at what education has. Where we're saying that the Federal Road Safety is actually the federal government rather
Ministry
is
of
looking
Education.
into education, looking at the age restriction. And this is not just something new, but it's quite unfortunate that it seems new to a number of us, because we feel like we just want to, push our words to be done with education or done with tertiary institution on time, and then you'll be able to brag as a parent and say, you know what, my daughter graduated at so age, or my son graduated at so age, regardless of whether that child is mentally ready for what is coming. And we say this is what the federal government is actually trying to emphasize, where we saw the Minister of Education talking about the fact that, this is not a new rule. We are aware of the fact about the 3, 6, 4. We know the way education goes from nursery, primary, up to tertiary, secondary school, and then up to tertiary institution. But it's quite unfortunate that we see that a number of people did not accept this willingly. Where we're seeing parents complain, I mean, what if my child is done with school at 15, 16? What do you want the child to do in between that period of time before getting to tertiary institution? And we're seeing the Minister of Education saying, you know what, for any child to qualify for either the WAEC or the JAM, he or she must be 18 years of age. At least it's expected that at 18, the child is mentally, physically ready for whatever challenge is being thrown on the way. But I think this was going to be up for debate, because I always see issues such as this coming up, and then we see the House saying, no, we're not in agreement to this and none of that. But as it is presently, this is the stand of the federal government regarding age for, words going to tertiary institution.
Well, for me, yes, like you said, this thing is debatable. But you see, we are living in a world that, things are changing, like with the speed of light. Things are evolving. If you look at the IQ of a normal child in the years 1970s, it's different from
The
this
child of
this
this.
of the child of this particular generation. The reason why some children, skip some classes is because there's nothing the teachers will tell them. They are above that particular level, and then they are moving, and then he's graduating at the age of 16, and you want to keep him. In my own opinion, I don't think it makes sense to me
To
personally.
hold back that child.
Personally, because you look at the generation, you don't look at the policy, because policy are meant to be amended. And then you look at the present situation, the present challenge, and then you adjust to it. If you allow me, I would say I think they should do more engaging the parent by grooming the children and knowing the times that we are in. This is the new challenges that we have on ground, and that is how you navigate it. You'll be proud if you see your child graduating and leaving university at the age of 16. You'll be proud. But the question is, how is he graduating? Better than how he was, or worse than how he gets in? I think that's where the problem is. And you can't tell me all the children, that are less than 18 that graduated, all of them are wayward simply because of how the pressure came. My own personal opinion. So I feel there's more for the parent to do at home by grooming the children, telling them this is how the society is. Because for me, I feel most of the thing is coming from home. Because when you neglect your child, you didn't give him the necessary thing, as in the well-balanced diet, for what it takes for him to survive in this present dispensation. I think that's where the problem is. Because you have a child that is 16, but he's behaving as if he's 40. Because of how he's being groomed. We have somebody that is 40, he's behaving like he's 16. Because of how he's being groomed. You can't tell me it's all that graduated, that started at the age of 18 that today are doing well. You can pinpoint and see how many of them that are wayward. So the issue is not age. So we should take our mind off from things that are not really the issue, and beginning to talk about morals, how we will build our society to be better. If a child is well groomed, no matter his age, he will behave wherever he found himself. But when a child is not well groomed and you send him out there,
that is when he's not ready for the challenge coming.
The challenge is coming, and then the child cannot really meet up with what is coming as a pressure to him. So I feel there's more that parents can do at home. And then the federal government should look at, how they will adjust, and then see how the two will come together and agree. But I just feel it should rule out. If you look at some of them, without apology, some of the big shots that makes the policy, their children graduated less than the recommended age that they are talking.
So why?
Do you know why? Because some of them, they don't school here.
Of course.
They school where that age doesn't matter. It's your IQ that push you.
True.
Do you get?
True.
So let's talk that again.
Rather than focusing on whether the child's age is, well, that is it. Just like we said, it's up for debate. So even though they're saying that this is starting from maybe next year, they might change it. But then, just like you said, rather than focusing on the child, I think the parents should have a role that they can play. If your child, maybe if it's a must that your child must be 18, if he graduates at 16, get him involved in a school accusation that can just help him mentally to be prepared, so that when he gets there, he'll be strong and ready. Now, just quickly, we're saying that, we're already about to celebrate 64. Nigeria at 64, and there are certain things expected of a person at 64 years, but then we know a person and the country is quite different because we move at a different pace.
Yeah, sure.
Now we're saying that the president is saying particularly the fact that we will be celebrating it in a low key or in a quiet form. And I just took my time to review Nigeria from 1960 up to date. I know it's not yet independent, but we're already in the spirit of it. Because I mean, it
Just few
happens to be
days.
very few days. It's on Tuesday, so and it happens to be one of those sweet days for me because it gives you memory back time from when you have to go march. There's so many activities that we usually have during independence. But then I think this is a time for a sober reflection for us as a country to reflect back for the past 64 years. What can we say we have achieved? Or, of course, we have setbacks, we have challenges, progress, and all of that. But then, looking at it in celebration in a low key form, what are we going to do, or what are we hoping to do in this low key celebration? Because to me personally, regardless of whether it's a loud celebration or it's a low key celebration, it matters on what we are hoping to do to get it right. Of course, we can look at other nations that we had independent almost the same period of time, and we're going to talk about growth and development. We cannot actually say we are on the same pace. But then what are we hoping to do, regardless of whether it's a low key celebration or it's a loud celebration?
Well, low key, agree. Because the low key can be okay. Don't go and then throw all the balloons, the cakes, and whatever. Can you just sit down and reflect? I think it's another thing because Nigeria, as a country, we're passing through a trying moment. It's just a new government that is trying to settle, that is trying to retrace where the previous administration got it wrong, and then they are trying to bring the country on her foot, and then see how together we will make sacrifices, and then see how we will make Nigeria great. I will agree with that. Looking at it from that angle. Another thing, going low key is saving the country a lot of money. Earlier before now, the topic we treated earlier, when you talk about the issue of the WAEC and stuff, and I told you, I said, in the 70s, what it takes for a child to start primary one. I remember those yes, when my first time, when I was crying, they were dragging me, and the rest, and then when I came, I was to do something like this. And I remember even at that, my hand couldn't even touch, is this strategy of taking it from the back. And then the teachers, I remember, they were just laughing. You understand? I was crying. So based on how I cried, you understand, they said, okay, just allow him. There was no class. So they just dropped me in one of the classes because I think at that time, it was 15 per class or something. I know it's 5, either 25 or 15 or something like that. So all of the classes are filled up. My hand couldn't even. So, but they said it's like this boy.
Just want to school. Just let
so
him
just leave him. You understand? That's then. If you look at now, things have changed, right? So we have to make serious adjustment, and then see what is obtainable now. Can we just key into the global movement and then move with that speed? You understand? And then if you look at it, celebrations like this, that's when government, some of them in authority, siphons money, because that's when they will tell you they print t-shirts, 16 t-shirts for 500,000, for instance. I'm just painting a I'm just painting a picture. You understand? Or they will tell you, because of this celebration, we feed this so children, the children, and then this one
changing of flags,
a changing of flag and so on. You just see some kind of money that even you, it will be
suspicious,
so disturbing, to see those figures going for that particular whatever. So I think he's trying to say, no, can you just slow down? Don't spend this kind of money. Can we sit down and reflect? If that's the case, I would say kudos, because that's when you see people siphoning money in the name of celebration. They will just tag one money and then and that's how it will just go. So I feel, yes, it is very important for us to sit down and then reflect. It's not everything that, we love celebration in this country. Any small thing, that's when government will be spending money settling other friends, to do one thing or the other, just that to settle them and give them money in the name of that. So I think we should go with the low key and then sit down and reflect.
Sure.
It is very, very important.
True. Well, thank you so much, Sambo, for doing this with me.
You're welcome.
As well, thank you to our viewers, supporters, and also to the production crew for making this program prompt on air. Until we come your way again next week, please do have a lovely weekend ahead.